let's do it. I mean, the heavyweight offering next weekend. I mean, if I had told you that Dave Allen was going to be headlining the Sheffield Arena against Arslanbek Makhmudov, the big scary Russian that was on Riyadh season cards, who was on that Day of Reckoning card against Ajit Kaboyel. I mean, he was making a lot of note. If I told you then he was going to be headlining against him in 2023, I think we'd have all said that we were mad. But I mean, he wanted a big fight, Dave Allen, after beating Johnny Fisher. He's got one. I mean, yeah. How do we? I'll start with you. How do you see this heavyweight main event going? I think we'll go into the undercard in a little bit. I think I've got a couple of fights I want to talk about, but yeah, how do you see this fight going, Ra?
I think that once again, Alan might have been flattered by his last win. Uh, we saw this before when he stopped Lucas Brown with a terrific body shot and then went in with a real technical operator in David Price and took quite a shellacking. Um, this time he's beaten a very raw prospect in Johnny Clark. Not
Fisher.
Johnny Clark, Johnny Fisher. Um, and yeah, he's going in with a guy who's not great technically, but has been competitive at fringe world level. Um, yeah, it's only been blown out by the second or third best heavyweight in the world by most accounts in Kabayel. Um, and last time out against another unbeaten prospect showed he's still ambitious, still a dangerous puncher. And yeah, the only vulnerability Makhmudov has shown is to the body, which
Hmm.
might actually not be a particular vulnerability based on what Caballero's done to two other guys at heavyweight since. It could just be that at heavyweight, if you get caught to the body, right, you'll go. And there's not many heavyweights who go to the body like Caballero. So yeah, I'll see a competitive fight. I see there being a bit of back and forth. I don't think it's going to be like a chess game or anything, but I do see, unfortunately, Dave getting overwhelmed by the bigger punches of Makhmudov, um, probably in around 6 rounds.
Wow, Dave.
Yeah, so when Kabayel beat Makhmudov, I thought, how has this happened? If I'm being honest, the shorter man absolutely bludgeoned the taller giant, and it was like a tree being chopped down. It was brutal, wasn't it? Like, he just Raw, I think, and Regan, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were there for that fight, were you not? Both of
Yeah,
you?
I was there. I was in Riyadh.
I, wa-
Yeah.
I wasn't. I wasn't.
Yeah, so I mean, was it as shocking as what we saw it on TV? Because that was brutal. Because this guy was built up to be the next big thing.
Yeah, watching it live,
Uh,
yeah, it was
yeah,
quite
and
impressive.
I really want Dave to win, if I'm being honest, because Dave 3.0 is absolutely fantastic. He looks in great shape as well from all the
Mm.
promos I've seen. I'm going to be there at the press conference on Thursday, as are yourself, Regan, and you're going to be there on fight night as well. So I'm looking to see what he says on the fight night, and I think Dave is in that point in his career now where he doesn't give a shit. Like, he honestly just doesn't care. He just goes for it. I think there's going to be an upset. I think Dave Allen is gonna is gonna chop down the tree again. I think he'll go to the body. I think that is the weakness. He's got a bit between his teeth. He's headlining his first show in a, well, I wouldn't even say in a long time, because Johnny Fish, it was all about the Johnny Fisher show, wasn't it, a few months ago? So, and no disrespect to Johnny, he just came up a bit short. But I can see Dave Allen winning. I think, yeah, I can't see. I can see the argument against, though, of just of what you've said, Ra, which is Dave Allen getting KO'd. I mean, that's happened before. No disrespect, but I'm going to back Dave on this one. I think Dave Allen wins, and it will be those body shots that will make the difference. Regan, what about yourself? Maybe
I
I'm
agree.
swayed. Maybe I'm swayed by the public.
No, I agree. I think the Dave Allen story is phenomenal. He definitely will go down as a kind of a fan favorite of British boxing. I mean, like you said, Dave, he looks in unbelievable shape, the shape of his career, but I feel like he knows he needs to be. I mean, if there's one thing you look at Makhmudov's record, granted the most high profile fight he's had, he's lost, and then the other one that was on top rank against Guido Vianello, he lost that as well, but he can crack. There is one thing for sure, that the giant of a man has knockout power, and I think Dave needs to be so cautious of that, as heavyweight needs to be. But I think I think Dave is an exceptionally underrated boxer as well. If he's on it, he kind of, when he's on it, he's very he's better than what people make out because of his losses, and sometimes he's not really tried and things like that. He's kind of just gone in there and gone toe to toe. I think if he's intelligent and if he gets that body punching going, I'm not saying you punches to the body like Caballero, because Caballero, like Ra said, is the second or third best heavyweight in the world. But I think he has a very good chance later down the line. I think if this fight goes past four rounds, I think Dave Allen has a very good chance of winning this fight. I think he's good, but he has just come off that Johnny Fisher win. Um, I think Makhmudov goes without saying is fought at a higher level than Johnny Fisher, so he's got to be on it in this fight. I think, but I don't know about you guys. I'm a bit more excited about a couple of the undercard fights than I am the main event. I mean, the most probably the one that everyone's got is Junaid Bostan versus Bilal Fawaz, the rematch, English super welterweight title. I mean, great fight, but then also Josh Padley versus Reece Bellotti. I mean, I won't give my opinion on these two, but I mean, it's a cracking undercard. I mean, I don't know who wants to start on some of the fights that are on that undercard.
I'll go.
Um, yeah, I was going to say you go because I think you were there for that one, weren't you? For Junaid and Bilal.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there with Regan, in fact, at the
Hmm.
O2. But yeah, just circling back just very briefly, I want to say something about the shape of Allen. We're seeing him leaner. He's even putting on a sweatsuit. How many times have we seen it at heavyweight? Six-pack abs and muscles don't win you fights. And in
Hmm.
actual fact, I think for heavyweights, getting into so-called shape, which is actually just aesthetic shape, I actually think that's negative for a heavyweight. Yeah, because being exceptionally lean, it seems to have become more of a fashion that's come from like Hollywood, and this obsession with media image. Being exceptionally lean, especially when you're over 30, actually has negative physical impact. And Alan is quite a bit over 30. So him losing all that weight, on top of that, why he's in a sweatsuit, heavyweights don't have to make weight. He doesn't need to cut water weight. So I think it's actually going to do him
Is he
more
doing it?
damage.
Is he doing it? Is he doing it for speed though? Is that the statement he's trying to make? Which is, look, I'm becoming leaner, so I can get these punches off faster. I was carrying off too
Yes,
much. You think he's going to
but
be on his feet? That's the way I've read into it,
okay,
and
but getting
yeah.
exceptionally lean and to the point where he's doing a water cut as well. I think that'll have more of a negative impact. Whatever he gains in speed, he'll lose in strength and definitely punch resistance, I think. But anyway, I guess he's got a nutrition and fitness team behind him now. Maybe I'm sure they know what they're doing. What do we know? Um,
Yeah.
Padley against Bellotti. Uh, Hadley again, talking of weight making, going down to super featherweight and going straight in against a very seasoned operator in Bellotti, one who's shown an ability to teach these young upstarts a thing or two. Kudos to Padley's taking his opportunities and made himself a player in the game now, a significant player. But I think even though Belotti's coming back quickly after a punishing fight against Ghana, um, I think Padley might rue going into such a hard fight in his first fight after making his first serious weight cut. I see Belotti outworking him in this and getting a decision.
Yeah. Dave?
Yeah, similar. I think the experience is there with Belotti. I think he's one of those fighters that you can just never write off, can you? I mean, he again has had a resurgence in his career. Um, he's had some fantastic wins, and again, he's a modern Renaissance man, hasn't he? He's really turned things around. I think just the experience of that weight for Belotti will be just that little bit too much for Padley. I can see it going on points to Belotti. I'm not going to say unanimous decision or split decision, but I'd say it will be a Belotti win. That's all I'd say. Regan, what about yourself on that one?
I think it's a proper 50-50. I think Ra made a good point about the defeat to Ryan Garner. I mean, I actually picked Belotti to beat Garner in that fight.
So did I. So did I.
Ahead of it, I thought, and it really was a spectacular performance from Ryan Garner. I thought I picked Belotti, but again, without kind of writing off Ryan Garner, but I didn't expect that. I didn't expect kind of a bit of a beatdown to be honest. And I mean, the thought, even though the stoppage was in the 12th round, I thought it was I kind of wish it kind of happened a little bit earlier, to be honest. But if Belotti can have the performances that he did against the likes of Gomez Jr., Yusuf Kamari, Akib Fiaz, and I do think Padley is better than those three guys. So there we go. There's another argument for it, but I think I think it's going to be a tough night for Padley if he can reinvigorate that kind of that form. But Padley, I know it was a lightweight his last fight, but I think he looked really good. I know it wasn't really a known opponent, but I thought he looked really good in Sheffield last time out, getting the stoppage as well. Kind of he done everything he needed to do on his first full kind of matchroom debut.
Mhm.
But like I said, I think I agree with you guys. I think I'm leaning towards a Reece Belotti decision win if he can reinvigorate that form that kind of sent him to the British and Commonwealth titles. But Bosnan Fawaz too, guys. I mean, the first fight was so nice. They had to do it twice. For Bilal Fawaz, I mean, I probably knew more about him than I did see him. But I think he surprised quite a few people that night against the Starboy Junaid Bostan. Dave, do you want to start on this one?
Yeah, I think that was a massive statement. Does it require the rematch? Absolutely, because I think Junaid wants to right a few wrongs. I mean, after the fight as well, in the post-fight interview, he was basically saying, "Look, let's run this back, and I'll prove that I'm better," sort of thing, without paraphrasing. Um, I think Junaid is going to be that little bit better now on fight night. I think he's very determined. I think he will put on a great performance and possibly stop Bilal. If I'm being honest, I think it'll all be for Junaid. I think Junaid will just be that bit better now. I think the momentum's in the gym as well, and he looks focused. He looks serious, and he just wants to prove the doubters wrong. He's had a fantastic career. He's a young upstart. He boxes really well. He's got a great. He's good for the sport. Not to say Bilal isn't, but I think everyone has their bogeyman, their banana skin peel. But I think Junaid will just right the wrongs on Saturday. Um, what about yourself, guys? Who wants to take that one next? How do you see it going down?
Go on, Ra. You go, and then I'll go.
Um, yeah, I mean, Bilal Fawaz, what a character. But he's got an underlying, he's just got this underlying aura of confidence in him. Looking at that really good face-off that they did recently, I just think he's
Brilliant,
got the air of
brilliant, wasn't
someone
it?
who really believes that he's got the younger man's number. Um, After the fight, Junaid was saying he wants the rematch on home turf. Uh, Junaid went quiet for quite a while. This was a kid who was quite vocal on social media. To be fair, so was Fawaz, didn't really say much on social media thereafter. But I would expect a mature man not to be all in there on Instagram every 2 minutes. But yeah, I can see the fight going the first way. Junaid didn't put a dent in him, and he kept coming. Fawaz ain't much of a puncher himself, but he had Junaid backing up, numerous occasions. I would say he had probably the bigger rounds. Um, I can see that. I can see that happening again. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Fawaz is going to change his life by getting the win.
Wow.
Maybe even a very late stoppage, because I'm sure he knows he's under no illusions that he'll be sure that the judges shafted him last time, and must believe that the same thing will happen again if it's close enough and goes to the scorecards. So I can see him really turning up the heat and overwhelming Junaid. Yeah, maybe in the last round or two.
Wow. I mean, I think that's a bold prediction, Ra, which is why I'm going to monumentally disagree with you. Um, no, I think don't get me wrong. I think I did score the last fight 6-4 to Fawaz, so I didn't go mental at the draw at all. But I think Junaid has an incredibly high ceiling. I think a lot of people before that Fawaz fight were saying that this was a bit of a why is he fighting for the English title? He's a bit better than that. I think a lot of people were kind of going in for that before the fight. Um, I think the theme with Junaid Bostan is that he kind of has a bit of a dud performance. I think the last one was against that Gordy Russ in America where he was hurt and he was down. But then his next fight against Jack Martin, I know Ra, you were very high on Jack Martin at that time as well. I think that was a career best performance from Junaid Bostan. He kind of again proved those doubters wrong from the fight before. Um, I think that theme's going to continue. I think he's realised that can't underestimate these guys. He shouldn't make this pattern a theme, a continuous theme. But I think he really knows what he's up against Bilal Fawaz this time as well. Ra, like you were saying, that face off was brilliant. I thought, like I know Junaid said it at the press conference last time, but there is a bit of a sense of Chris Eubanks Senior about Bilal Fawaz, whether it be the voice, whether it be the quips that don't really make sense, but everyone understands them anyway. He's a really funny guy. I thought he was brilliant, but I think Junaid handled him a lot better. I think the first time he thought he was a bit of a joke, Bilal Fawaz.
Mm.
But this time I think he takes him as seriously as I think Bilal Fawaz takes himself. So I think Junaid's gonna turn the tables around. I think he's going to get the win. I'm not predicting a stoppage. I don't think I'll go that far, but I think it will be a bit of a comprehensive win for Junaid Bostan, and he'll put his kind of foot back on the map. I'm pretty sure. I think people will be ranting and raving about him like they are a few other prospects. Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to jump onto Jaron Ennis. I know we've only got 4 minutes left. Or did you? Yeah, should we do that?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be on the same night as well. He's headlining
Mm,
over in Philadelphia. Um, so far, again, the media build-up for that has been fantastic. I think he did
mm.
a public workout over in one of the local parks a few days ago. I think he's just going to win. I mean, he's targeting everyone at 154. I mean, he's made that really clear anyway in his next statement. I think he's going to win via it won't be stoppage, but I think he'll go on points. Everything's lined up for him to win, and I'm looking forward to Jerome and this win. I think it's we've got a great day of boxing on October the 11th, my birthday, so it's going to be
Birthday
good.
treat.
There you go, a Jeron Ennis win, a Dave Allen win, hopefully, and two great fights to look forward to. How do you see that one going down?
I'd agree with you. I've met Wisma a few times. arguably the best fighter from Portugal in the world at the moment. He's unlucky that he's got an almighty tasker in front of him. I think he will probably get beaten comprehensively. I think he might hear the final bell, but he might get stopped. But I don't think it will reflect badly on him at all, because I think Ennis is going to be one of the greats, despite all the
Yep.
criticism he's got in how his career's moved so far, rightfully, in my opinion. But I think at 154, this is where Boots establishes himself among the greats, starting
Yeah, I,
next week.
I have to agree. I think we all saw Wisma Lima have a really good fight with Aaron McKenna. A York Hall not so long ago, a baking hot York Hall that night where I'm standing by the door. But yeah, I think it provides some resistance, like you say, Rara. But I think he will get ultimately stopped. I think the new weight for Jaron Ennis is going to be. I think it's going to give him a new lease of life. If they're saying that he was kind of dead at the weight when he fought Stanionis, my God, we're in for a treat. I think, Dave, you're going to get a brilliant birthday present from Jaron Ennis. It might not even be your birthday by the time the ring walk, Dave. So we don't know if it's a birthday present or
No.
not. A bit of a belated one, but um, unbelievable fighter. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, if Virgil Ortiz wins on November the 8th, we see those two together. What a fantastic, what brilliant fight that would be. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that fight, but we do have a minute left.
I was gonna mention one thing as well, which I think has been underplayed this week, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
Uh, Thriller in Manila has turned 50 years old.
Wow.
50 years old since we've seen that fight where Ali and Fraser for the third time went to hell and back. And people, you know, have said as well that neither man was the same after that fight. And again, I know we've only got a minute left, but what a fight! 50 years old. I wasn't alive for that, but but I certainly watched it. I don't know if you guys had any memories of that fight. But 50
Cool.
years old. Wow.
It's part of boxing folklore, and
History.
an unspoken after effect of that is that it kick-started the sport in the Philippines, which eventually led to the likes of Pacquiao and Donaire. So it just does go to show it is worth taking these really big fights to new parts of the world, because it can kickstart the sport and grow it. Plant those seeds that sprout again eventually.
Mhm.